All right, my lawyer friends. I have been building a lot of AI automations for lawyers, and the same questions come up over and over again. So I thought I would make a simple demo app and a quick video to help give you an idea of what this looks like before our consultation, or in case you're unaware of what AI can do and how it's going to change the legal industry. I'm going to start this going because it takes about 30 seconds for it to process. So I'm just going to upload this client intake app. And here I've got the follow-up buttons. We'll get to this wow later, but let's look at the index file. Right now it's a G sheet and it's blank. This is what's going to be filled in it. Like I mentioned, it takes about 30 seconds, but we can talk about the hypothetical client intake that I have here. I drafted this intake as a hypothetical breach of contract case. The scenario is a 12-month marketing contract that was breached, and the plaintiff even hired subcontractors in order to perform on the contract. I wanted to make the index finished processing. So we'll get to those documents soon. But let's finish going over the hypothetical. So the plaintiff hired subcontractors even, and I wanted to make the hypothetical simple, but also have some depth to really showcase the capabilities of AI. So I uploaded it, it processed, took about 30 seconds, and now we'll look at the documents. It's important for you to know that I have had my own law firm since 2008, and so I know exactly what lawyers need and what your pain points are. Let's just see how the AI did. So here's the complaint. It's got introduction, got the information right from the client intake, talks about the plaintiffs, venue, causes of action, one cause of action for breach of contract, talks about the damages, goes through and does a prayer for relief. So this is all done. It's a simple contract. I didn't make it too a simple complaint. I mean, I didn't make the AI too sophisticated here, but generally you just need to fix the formatting and review it, make sure it's right and what you like. But here's the cool part. In the prayer for relief, it picked out the damages in a very nuanced way. So just keep that in mind. Let's look at the demand letter that I also had it draft. I had it put it on my letterhead. This was the only part I did, was I made it as a template with my own letterhead, and then it fills out the information below. And again, this is, I didn't get too sophisticated with the AI. I wanted to keep it just basic because I was just doing a demo, so I didn't want to spend too much time building it. But even that, you could see it's incredibly thorough and gets the details right. We could pull up the client intake form, and you could see $5,000 monthly. As of the date, has failed to make payments for January and February. And if we go figure out exactly where the breach began, January approximately, stopped making payments after December. So there you go. It even talks about the out-of-pocket expenses for the subcontractors. The damages match the complaint. I also wanted it to calculate the potential trial damages, or talk about it to start the negotiation and create some sort of initial settlement demand. So it did an initial settlement of $35,000. I didn't set this. If I were making a final product, I would have wanted a little bit more user interaction. So probably on the complaint, I would have check boxes or a text box where if I were doing it for myself, I would either choose the causes of action, or I would type the causes of action in and maybe give it some of my thoughts in drafting the complaint. I would also train it on some of my past complaints so that it matches my writing style. And similar for the demand letter, if I were doing this for my actual use case, I would probably make it so that there was more input in the user end. Maybe I would specify what the initial demand number would be based on my legal expertise and experience, and reasoning my more thorough understanding of the case. But even with this, all I really have to do is change the number if I don't like it, give it a review. Just basic quick demos, pretty impressive already. So let's talk about that little wow button. See what we've got here. Start a new conversation, all right? So what I wanted to do is build an AI case advisor in the form of a chatbot that's trained on in this case, in the client intake form. If I were building this for me, I would probably have its knowledge bank get updated as the case progressed. But this is just for demo purposes, so it's the intake form. And now I can use it as an advisor for anything related to the case, like discovery or trial prep or strategy or whatever. Let me give you an example. And again, this is hosted on just a development platform for me. I don't have it on a final fast server, so the responses aren't going to be instant. They might be 10 to 30 seconds. But let's say, please draft me 3 RFAs about this case. I represent the plaintiff. All right, and let's just see what happens while it's loading. We could talk a little bit about it. If I were going to host it for my use case, I would have it on a faster server, of course. I might use different AI models depending on whether I want it to have more depth in reasoning, or if I want it to be more communicative, like for the letter drafting. It depends on the use case, of course. But from building AI automations, probably more than any other lawyer, I think it's important to note that AI is very, very good when it's custom built or when it's used with a somewhat narrow focus. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Right? All right. Got the parties right, the case number. There's no case number, but it would insert it. And pursuant to, I didn't give it, clarify the jurisdiction or the venue, but that's fine. Admit that they failed to make payments. Perfect. Admission regarding invoice acknowledgement. Admit the invoice. So there are in the hypothetical, there were communications. So there you go. Shortly. It's a pretty good one. Payment would be processed shortly. That's a pretty good RFA. Might be compound under California. Admit that owes them a price. Perfect. So that's really good. And if we want, we could have it write more or whatever. So if you've been having trouble with, again, if I were building this for myself, it wouldn't have these mistakes, the compound or whatever, and it would be, I would train it in my style. So, but this is just a simple demo, and I think you get the idea on what's possible. If you've been having trouble with AI, maybe you've been trying to use it, maybe you've been paying for expensive products and the results you're getting are just not that good. The reason is because it's too generalized. It's for mass markets or even for a specific industry. It might be just for legal industry or whatever industry you happen to be in. And you're getting like weird results. It's because AI is very powerful when it's custom built and when it's narrow and specific. So something like this that I built here works very, very well. And it usually just takes me a couple of weeks to build. This demo I did in a couple of days, but a real one for a client usually takes me a couple of weeks. And then I work with the clients to continuously refine it and improve the specific custom-built workflows for litigation or transactional or even to help with marketing. So if you want to talk about how AI can help your practice, feel free to reach out. I will put some links in the description for you.